I guess when I said I wanted to be freezing cold this Christmas, Treyarch thought I said I wanted my FPS to freeze instead. That bad joke is your Christmas present from me to you, and while I can see you didn't come prepared with a gift, you have the opportunity to give me the biggest gift ever by hitting that subscribe button right now. So, between modders, new bugs, the impending AI invasion, skill-based matchmaking, and skill-based damage, and whatever is going on with Warzone, it seems Black Ops 6 has been going through a turbulent period of time recently. I guess Inverse Santa visited Call of Duty last night because it seems overnight half of the player base has magically disappeared. Now, I'll be honest, I have always hated Warzone. I've always considered it a cancer to Call of Duty, draining its resources while slowly killing it over time. And so I don't play it, and because of that, I'm not sure what's going on and what's wrong with Warzone. But all I know is every time I log on to X, I get about 30,000 suggested tweets from YouTubers all bigger than me saying that Warzone is dead and to stop playing it and that they're taking a break from it. To those of you who partake in the devil's game that is Warzone, put in the comments below what's wrong with it and why everyone is so mad about it. Is it just the fact that you move slightly slower because of an Omni movement? I don't really know, but I'm not here to talk about Warzone. Multiplayer is more or less the same it's always been since Warzone was introduced, which is far, far worse than classic Call of Duty multiplayer. Again, why I think Warzone is terrible for Call of Duty. Skill-based matchmaking and its army of bootlickers, which, as an aside, I've seen people on Twitter saying that skill-based matchmaking works and X-Defiant failed because of no skill-based matchmaking, which is an insane take to have. By the way, guys, I've also mentioned TwitX twice now, so consider this your sign to follow me. I will link in the comments and the description below. I have 5 followers, and I'm really tired of people thinking I'm a bot because I only have 5 followers. But as I was saying, skill-based matchmaking has effectively killed the fun of multiplayer for most players. The last truly great multiplayer was Black Ops 4, and honestly, if you never played it and never gave it a chance, I would totally recommend you go and do so. If you love playing aggressively and rushing, that game was built for you. That being said, there are other fundamental design flaws in multiplayer that are holding it back. I think I'll make another video on that, but teaser, the kill streaks are terrible. And by the way, you skill-based matchmaking bootlickers, the reason X-Defiant failed was because there was no point to play the game because there were no kill streaks and the gameplay loop had no kill streaks. And the specialists that were, strength, kill streaks. Now, those were specialist abilities. They were very weak, and they were a terrible substitute for kill streaks. Also, for multiplayer, the maps are absolutely abysmal, and honestly rival some of the greatest, worst maps of all time as the literal GOATs of terrible maps, which is actually impressive. And also, if you go and watch my review of the Black Ops 6 beta, which is sitting at like 80 views, you will notice that unlike all the other fake Activision shill YouTubers, from the beginning, I was saying, weekend 1, that the maps were crazy garbage. But this is besides the point, and don't go after the shill YouTubers. They need their cash just as much as I need mine. Now, what is truly crazy is the modding situation. It appears crossplay, once again, has come to reap the soul of another game because PC players cannot get a lock on their community. I mean, seriously, guys, I am slowly becoming a PC Master Race person myself, but it doesn't speak well for you that 5 seconds after Ranked is released, you've modded the Beam Smasher into multiplayer. And I saw a new mod this week where a modder can, report you, and it counts as over 1,000 reports, and it basically gets you insta-banned or, shadow banned. And as an aside, are we really this greedy and money-hungry that instead of just banning modders, we shadow ban them? Is this like 2016 or 2020 social media all over again? I don't necessarily understand what's going on with all of this. But now to zombies, and it kind of includes multiplayer, but the AI invasion. The AI invasion is such a large and frankly serious topic that I think it's a separate video all in and of itself, and I'll probably make that. But I'm seeing a lot of the zombie community really get upset about this, which Treyarch and Activision, just take note of this. You have lost more or less half of your community, 50%. You went from 180 players to 100, so you basically lost 50% of your community. Can you really stand to lose more at this point? I don't think the AI issue of trying to copy voice actors and put in AI art is worth losing more players over. But again, I'll probably do a separate video on that because that's just so huge. And lastly, honestly, the reason I made this video, the bugs. Black Ops 6 seems to be riddled with some crazy bugs, including one that is personally affecting me every single time I go to play the game. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing massive frame drops when playing, but I literally cannot play a game of multiplayer zombies without the frame generation going nuclear and hitting a whopping like 5 FPS. Has anyone else experienced this, or is this just me? I don't know what triggers it, but like anytime I play, just at random points, the game will just go into like a frame ration period and suck all the frames out of the game. I thought it was lag at first, but then I turned on the latency thing, and my lag or my latency was great, and the packet loss was 0. So it can't be that, which means it has to be something with the actual FPS of the game. And I wanted to ask, if you have experienced all of this, have you found anything to fix it? My own advice for you, because this is what I found, is that at least in zombies, if you're in a solo game, of course, so if you have no friends like me, haha, it works out great. No, if you're in solo and you pause your game, and not for too long, of course, because now we have pause timers, no more than 15 minutes, or else we're going to disconnect you. That's another great feature. Thank you, Treyarch. But again, if you pause it for like 30 seconds to a minute and then unpause it, for some reason the frames seem to return to normal. And so because of this, it happens on every map. I can't tell what's causing it, but it is incredibly frustrating. And so if you've been playing multiplayer, you're kind of out of luck because it's multiplayer and you can't really, go pause. But for zombies solo players, if you're playing it and it lags and you didn't know what to do, if you just sit in the pause menu for like 30 seconds, it seems to fix. Now, the other thing I'd say is I'm on Xbox, and so I'm not sure. I'm on the Series X too, but I'm not sure if that matters or not. But what I would say is that if it is only happening on Xbox, that is a colossal mess up because you have Black Ops 6 on Game Pass. You're owned by Microsoft. Activision and Treyarch are owned by Microsoft. And you literally need those Game Pass babies, those beautiful little warm bodies, in your lobbies. Otherwise, people are going to really start to call your game dead. But those little Game Pass babies will not come to your lobbies if there's tons of lag. They're just going to go play their favorite game of all time, Fortnite. But if that wasn't enough, there are a ton of zombies bugs that straight up break the maps, and this mostly appears to be in Citadel Des Mid. Sorry, Des Morts. The new map that is most certainly mid at best. But no, it's Citadel Des Morts. I've personally been shoved into a few walls, and I've seen bugs where like the boss fight just straight up won't start when you teleport to it, or even more insane, I've seen the boss just like in between the boss fight when he goes to freeze himself in the middle of the map, he'll just freeze and he'll never unfreeze. He'll just stay frozen and the boss fight will just like freeze the player there too permanently, which all of that, to even speak that that's happening, is straight up wild. And honestly, I'm sitting here and stuff like this is just incredibly confusing to me because they got like a gajillion people working on this game. Like, are we really incapable of solving why these game-breaking bugs are happening? Like, we don't have any idea why the boss just turns into an ice block in the middle of the map and will never unfreeze. And so, like, personally, I've been playing Animal Crossing on a Nintendo Switch and Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, which both games, by the way, are just amazing. I love Borderlands and Animal Crossing are just some of the greatest games of all time because I don't want to get a seizure every time I load up Black Ops 6 and my game decides to take a nap and drop to like 3 frames. Anyway, guys, let me know, are you enjoying Black Ops 6 right now despite all these issues? Have you stopped playing it, or are you still going to keep playing it? Personally, myself, I'm still having a good amount of fun on it. I grinded Dark Matter, and I'm admittedly a little bit burnt out. But as far as Black Ops 6, I really do want to spend some more time in zombies, especially while it's double XP. And I just honestly miss the stability of the game. Like I said, ever since Season 1 Reloaded, it's been unstable. And I just want to play my game without getting frustrated again. Also, I'm a little bit scared that if this game fails, the executives, who always seem to be incapable of accurately interpreting data, will write this game off as a failure because resources were spent on multiplayer and zombies, and they'll reallocate all the resources to Warzone, killing zombies in multiplayer for the future. So it's sitting in a weird place. I hope they get their act together. I hope 2025 is great, but that is to be seen. Anyway, guys, I hope you had a great day. Let me know in the comments below all those questions I asked above, and I'll talk to you later.